Let's go. Discussion two. The main speak. Who was the speaker and the main point of the speech? The person that I looked at was Mark Applebaum. They call him the mad scientist of music. His main point was how boredom with being a composer, and he wanted to know how he could make music more interesting, and how boredom forced him to be more creative and to add something, to what he viewed was boring. His main thing was, even though, was it music or was it interesting? So, very entertaining guy. How did the speaker capture the attention of the audience? I mean, this guy has got to be a musical genius. He's probably got 12 different titles that he can, go under, as from writer, visual artist, composer, choreographer. I mean, the just being bored with composing music the old way, it forced him to not only notate his music different, he would write it in different, you know, squiggly lines, or just made it art, and he would have musicians interpret what they saw. Very interesting. He kept the audience engaged because he just kept taking it to another level. After he wowed you with one thing, it got bigger and it got bigger and it got bigger. The Ted commandment that he followed best was the second commandment, where it says, thou shalt not dream, thou shalt dream a great dream and show forth a wondrous new thing. This guy brought out a instrument that he made out of a doorstop, combs. I mean, it was amazing. He played it and it just gave off weird sound. He even electrified it, plugged it into an amp, and added some effects to it, and it just gave it a whole nother sound. So, I mean, he just kept the wow factor going. How the speech followed the sparkline structure. He followed that sparkline structure. He had a nice story that he told at the beginning. He went from what is to what could be, as he brought out different instruments that he made. He followed it to the T. Now, seeing the structure, now when I see presenters, I'm going to be wondering, are they following along with that, with that mode? His star moment, that I would say, that he had many of them. Not only did he wow you with how he wrote notes, and as a musician, it challenged me. Like, I'm even thinking, wow, what can I do differently? Because you are kind of bored with the way you do music. And I mean, he did an orchestra. This guy's a genius. He composed an orchestra and had a florist put do art to music, and he choreographed it. I mean, like, who does this? I mean, so I can understand why they call him the mad scientist of music. Very intriguing. Like, my mind is ticking even now as I think about it. Number six, how was the analyze the speaker's delivery and outline? He did follow that very well. His delivery was on point. He didn't read, like, as I'm obviously trying to. I don't know how else to remember everything to do it. So in my presentation, I'm getting better. So please critique me on that. But he did a very good job. Very entertaining. His delivery was. I mean, you can follow that mode to a T. The spark line, and I mean, he was really on point. What will I remember in the upcoming persuasive presentation that you watched? You remember? I'm trying to think of what I can do that has that wow factor. And, like, things that the audience will remember. What is it that I can do and be as creative to push the envelope like this gentleman, Mark Applebaum, did? My mind is still thinking on what I can do to be a good presenter like that, but I'm definitely inspired. Those are my answers to 1 through 7. Hopefully, I did okay. Bye bye.